Pro Wrestling Weekly presents Today in Wrestling History, April 20. On this date in 1986, the AWA held its Wrestle Rock Supercard. In the main event, the Road Warriors defeated the Fabulous Freebirds in a tag team steel cage match. On this date in 1997, the WWF held its In Your House Revenge of the Taker pay-per-view. In the main event, Stone Cold Steve Austin defeated Bret Hitman Hart by disqualification in a number one contenders match. On this date in 1998, WCW Monday Nitro aired live from Colorado Springs, Colorado. In the main event, Hollywood Hogan defeated Randy Savage in a no disqualification match to win the WCW World Heavyweight Championship. On this date in 2009, WWE Monday Night Raw aired from London, England. In the main event, Randy Orton pinned Triple H. This has been Today in Wrestling History, April 20. Welcome back to Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Now, you heard during the break there, $100,000 Super Cash. You can tune in this week, Monday through Friday from 2 to 5, and Sunshine Cassandra Gibson, she'll have envelopes to give away. And did you know last year the Pennsylvania Lottery contributed over $1 billion to programs that benefit older Pennsylvanians? That's right. You must be 18 years or older to play. Please play responsibly, because playing irresponsibly, that's no fun. I mean, it may feel like it's fun at the time, but then you look in your wallet, you got absolutely nothing for a while, and the bills are, it's just not a good idea. Just go with me on that. I'm not saying I know from personal experience.
Of course not.
I do everything responsibly. Some would argue maybe not this show, but I do everything else responsibly.
Says the one who just did the Austin Powers impression.
Yeah, at your behest. That was your suggestion, by the way.
A little setup there. A little payback.
I see what you did there. Yes, I do. All right, let's get back to the phones. Enough debauchery here. Let's get to Steve from Bristol. Steve, welcome to Pro Wrestling Weekly.
How's it going, Brian?
Not too bad. Just having fun and talking wrestling.
I got 3 questions for you.
Hopefully I have answers.
The Hall of Fame thing, the thing before WrestleMania?
Yes.
Who introduced Bruno?
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Unbelievable. Okay, number 2, you went to my old campus to do yoga with Diamond Dallas Page. How bad did he look in person? From 1 to 10.
How bad does he look?
Does he look his age, or does he look a lot older?
He actually looks a bit younger. I mean, really, as far as being in... and we're going to talk more about this in the upcoming weeks. I've got an interview. I did like a quick 5-minute interview after the yoga session that I'm going to put up on the show coming up in a couple of weeks. And I actually took the plunge and ordered the DDP Yoga DVDs. And he said, give it a month. So that way you have more to talk about after having, experienced the DVDs for yourself. And I'm going to have him on for a considerably longer interview. We're looking to set that up.
Okay, and this is my wish list. Is Rob Van Dam coming back to where he belongs?
Well, ECW hasn't been around for 12 years now, but no, I know what you mean.
If he comes back, will he be the one that takes out CM Punk for obvious reasons?
I don't know. At this point, the other big question is, what if he comes back to WWE, which he's still a free agent, he hasn't signed with WWE officially, he hasn't signed with TNA officially, what do you do with an almost 43-year-old Rob Van Dam, given the youth of this roster? It seems like bringing him in is, holding down, it's delaying the youth movement even further for bringing back an established star. So, some of these people, like Dolph Ziggler, is just kind of breaking through the glass ceiling. Oh, great, now I get to job out on a non-title match basis to Rob Van Dam? I'm sure that's probably what he's thinking.
No, this is what I think Vince is thinking. I've got 3 really bad problems in my company. Brock Lesnar, Punk, and Rob Van Dam's going to be the guy that solves it. He'll make his announcement and say, I'm tired of hearing about ECW, how good they were. You guys got to fight it out between the 3 of you, and one stays. And then we'll see how good ECW is. That's
at this point, I don't think Vince wants the letters even mentioned, really.
Really?
He's treated ECW the way, he presumably treated the Fandango thing. He just wants to kill it. He wants to inject it with a lethal dose of poison.
Now, this movie coming up about ECW, it better have more than 30 seconds about my favorite guy, New Jack, because I think New Jack doesn't get any credit for what he did with ECW.
As one half of the Gangstas in the very short-lived tag team, the Gangstonators.
Yes, but more important, he was the first guy, even before Van Dam, even before Jericho, that jumped off the second level and damn near killed the guy underneath him and himself. If you notice, Van Dam and Jericho never did the jump.
This is true.
He was hardcore. The only other guy was even close is Funk. Terry Funk, but he'd been doing ECW before they ever.
Yeah, he was extreme before ECW was Eastern Championship Wrestling. So
yeah, but I hope the movie does. I hope it isn't just like matches of the guys who are still in the business. That'd be wrong.
Well, I mean, I guess part of the problem is that what are they allowed to release as far as filming without getting a cease and desist order from Jerry McDevitt up at WWE headquarters?
He still owns the library and and the company, right, Vince? He bought it and tried to destroy it.
Basically.
But he still has. I wonder if he gets even a guy from this movie. If it doesn't, then I know something's up.
Oh, it's hard to say. I guess show up to the premiere tonight or buy the DVD, and you'll be able to find out.
All right, then. You're doing a good job, Ron.
Thank you, Steve. I appreciate it.
Take care, boss.
No problem. Thank you. All right, let's go ahead and what else we got here? We got Sean, who's been hanging on. We'll go ahead and get Sean here as we got about 6 minutes or so left. Sean, welcome to Pro Wrestling Weekly.
How you doing, Fearon?
Not too bad. Long time no talk.
Well, it hasn't been that long. I'm always excited to talk about old ECW. I remember having Pop Vision when Eddie Gilbert was in ECW and having to wait for the horse racing to be over to show the second half of ECW TV.
Oh, wow. That's really taking it old school.
Yeah, just sitting there agonizing over this horse racing. The second thing is, do you think there's a market for local wrestling TV?
I don't know. I mean,
is the temperature there that it's ECW is long enough? I mean, there's a lot of people. If you could tell a good story the way ECW did, I would think people would follow.
Well, the problem that I see with that is the overexposure, I think, has burned a lot of people out. I mean, if you remember when ECW first started to rise in the mid-'90s, I mean, you look at WWF, they just had Monday Night Raw, and they had, like, Mania and Superstars on Saturdays, and that was about it. And I think at that point they either had All-American Wrestling as a recap show, or maybe it switched over to the Action Zone by that point. They didn't have a lot going. WCW, their signature show was WCW Saturday Night until Nitro came in. But there wasn't as much programming as there is now. I mean, you look at 3 hours of Raw, 2 hours of SmackDown, an hour of Main Event, a half hour of Saturday Morning Slam, 2 hours of Impact. I mean, that's 8.5 hours a week of programming just from, the two big companies. And then you're going to throw, a half-hour show for a local promotion as well. I mean, it's hard for one fan or even a broadcast journalist like myself to hone in on all of that.
And I completely agree. And back in the 90s, it was bigger than big, and they couldn't sustain. I understand that. But you saw the kids at the Triple WA show just running up to the regular wrestlers, getting autographs, and I think there's a new generation out there, and I would hope that it would sustain something, through the teenage years of these kids and grow and tell a story, tell a good story.
Well, I think that's what it is coming up with something compelling to draw them in and keep them in.
Absolutely.
And that's something at WWE, as you've kind of seen, and TNA for that matter, is lacking. It feels like they're just kind of spinning their wheels, and in WWE's case, hoping to pop a 3.5 rating, and in TNA's case, hoping to pop a 1.0 or higher rating, and there seems to be satisfaction with that.
Correct, and hopefully there would be a point where the hungry, up-and-comer would have a chance. And that'd be neat to see. Something in Philly Pride again, because I remember seeing the T-shirts walk around Franklin Mills Mall and just really connecting with people and just the overall feeling of this is from Philly, and there's different times where you feel that way, and definitely ECW was one of them.
Definitely, most definitely. Anyway, I'm closing up against it here. I got Trenton Thunder baseball, but hey, love the bonus time. Thanks so much for the call, Sean. Always appreciate it.
Absolutely. Have a good one.
All right, thanks. You too. Okay, a couple quick hits on some news and notes, and a lot of them are rock-related. Just when you thought you couldn't get enough Fast and Furious movies, Fast and Furious 7 will be released on July 11th, 2014, according to Deadline.com. And this is announced as Fast and Furious 6 hasn't even been released yet. That's scheduled to come out in theaters on May 24th of this year. Now, will The Rock be in Fast and Furious 7? Not so fast. The Rock telling the Collider website that he may not appear in the Fast and Furious 7 if the July 2014 release date is accurate. He says, it's not possible for me because I'm shooting Hercules this summer starting 6 weeks in Budapest. So possible for them, I'm not too sure. I haven't heard anything about that, and I'm pretty sure I would have gotten a phone call pretty early in the morning if that was the real plan. Not quite too sure, though. The Rock also providing an update on his injury from WrestleMania courtesy of a tweet this past Thursday, tweeting, physical therapy starts tomorrow, hardcore training starts today. Thank you guys for the love. 5 weeks out. # Road to Hercules. So still looking to bulk up even more, and only in wrestling. The Rock paying a woman to lube him up. Michael Bay, the director of Pain and Gain, noted that he had to keep his distance from Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson on the set, saying, Dwayne, you have to keep a 3-foot perimeter because he has a woman professional just lubing him up with baby oil. This is Bay telling E! Online. You get the stuff all over your outfit, you wreck your clothes. That's from director Michael Bay on The Rock. So he apparently has a personal baby oiler.
You mean you don't, Fearon?
No, I don't. But I also don't have the muscles to warrant that. Nor will I ever. Hopefully I'll be a little more streamlined with the DDP yoga. That's more the game plan. Yeah, I'd rather go slim and trim than big and bulky, but that's just how I roll.
That's what's in these days, I think. The slim and trim is the move.
Yeah, I mean, if you can go big and trim, that's, I guess, ideal, and maybe that's what The Rock's going for. I don't know. Also, WWE raising over $500,000 in hurricane relief, announcing that the Superstars for Sandy Relief online auction raised $524,742. WWE teaming with New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg, New Jersey Governor Chris Christie, Hollywood celebrities, and professional athletes to raise the money. The funds will specifically benefit Mayor's Fund to Advance New York City and SandyNJReliefFund.org. That's going to do it for me. Starship Matt, thanks for sitting in here. What an insane show it's been. Appreciate the extra 15 minutes. Stay tuned. Trenton Thunder Baseball here on 1490 WBCB.